This is the only CSS crash course that you need to start learning CSS quick and efficiently. End of the crash course, you have the ability to build application like Google, YouTube, Instagram. I'm going to cover all the topic that is needed to build an application like those. So let's start it. So now in CSS there is three type of CSS: inline, internal, and external. So as you can understand, inline means when you write CSS in a line. Suppose that is a line, no? So in a line, if I want to apply CSS, then that is called inline. So in the line, if I want to apply, I have a style attribute to apply CSS. So now under the style attribute, here I can put my CSS. So suppose I want to give like the color of the text should be red. What is the syntax? Don't worry about that. I'm definitely going to teach you. But right now I'm teaching you the inline CSS. But on the in the hand, I can also like we can also learn what is the syntax of the CSS. The syntax of the CSS is CSS have two things: property and value. So whatever style you have to give to a element, there will be a property for that and there will be a value for that. So suppose that is the item, that is the element. There I need to put some style. What a style I want to put? I want to put some color. So for color, I have a color property, and the color property I give the value red. So the text color will be for the element became red. So if I start my live server to see the output, and definitely the output is going to be it inline going to be red. See, the inline is red. Fine. So that's how we give inline CSS. In a line like that, we can give styles. Then we have internal CSS. What is internal CSS? Internal CSS means in the head portion, we have a style tag. So there we can write our CSS code. Okay, so that is called internal CSS. And now you can understand because we run the CSS internally, so it called internal CSS. So now under the style tag, how can I select this P? I can do one thing. I can give a class internal. I can copy it, Control C. I can, and now I can give dot internal. What I just did, please don't bother about this thing. Definitely I'm going to teach you selectors, but right now in internal CSS we give styles internally in the internal file. Now I can give color, which is the property, and the value I need to give blue. So like that. So that is called internal CSS, when you internally give stylings. And please again don't bother about this thing dot internal. I'm definitely going to teach you that. All right, now at last we're going to learn external CSS. So for that I can give another class called external, like that. So in external CSS means we create an external style file, means we create an external file, there we write our CSS, right? So we can create an external file here, style.css, like that. There what I need to do, I need to target this element using the class name. Don't bother about the targeting stuff. Again, dot v, like that. I think now you have an idea also how I am targeting the item. If I give a class, so this element I basically give a name. So if I want to target this element, I take the class and I give dot. Dot means this is a class and this is the class name. So target this class and give some styling. So I think you have an idea. But don't worry, I'm going to teach you also selectors. And this one I can give color of pink, I guess. No, pink. I think pink is fine. So like that. So if I came here, I can see it. Wow. Why the style is not applied? Because we create an external file, but we never link our external file. We also want to link the external file. How? Very simple. Came to the head, came after the title, and now you can write link and you can say link colon CSS. So this code will be generated for means for VS Code obviously, but you can see that code, and there in the href you can give the path style.css done. If I came here and see, this external became pink. So in the external file, external CSS, you create an external file and then link the file using the link attribute, using a link tag, sorry, and done. So now we are going to learn about selectors. What are selectors? So basically if you want to put style to a particular HTML tag, you first need to select the HTML tag, then you can put style to the HTML tag. So that's why selector exists, to select a particular HTML tag. Okay, so in CSS we have so many types of selectors. So the first and the most easy selector we have is the universal selector. What is universal selector? Universal selector means when you have to select everything. So suppose, and what is the syntax? You like hashtag and curly braces. So like that. So now that is called a universal selector. That is the hashtag means select all, and curly braces means under the curly braces I'm going to put all the styles. So suppose under the universal selector, if I do color red, what is going to happen? All the element get selected and everybody get a color red. So our website is started. That is a demo website, and you can see everybody has the color red. If I just remove the color red, then you can see everybody like back to normal. So that is the work of universal selector. When you want to select all, then we use universal selector. For the mic I can see the navbar. Fine. So that is all about the universal selector, and I can make the thing little beautiful so that I can give you this code also, and like that. Fine. Now the second thing is individual selector. Individual selectors are also very easy. So suppose that is the HTML code I written to teach you selectors. So suppose I want to target the span. How can I target? In individual selector means you can just use the tag name SPAN, like that. So like that, all the spans got selected. Okay, now I can give, suppose, background. I can choose a nice color. I think this color is good. So I can give a background color of this, and now only all the spans got selected and all the spans got a background color of this greenish. So I can see the output, and you can see span get a background color green, and I have only one span, so only one guy get the background color green. If I have more spans, all of the spans get a background color. Okay, I can just show you. So there I have only one span. If I have multiple spans, so see, multiples, every span get a color background green. Fine. So now I think you get what is individual. What is individual selector? Individual selector means we select a element using the tag name. Okay, using the tag name we select the element. Fine. So I think that is also good, and I can just comment this so that I can give you the code also. Now classes and ID selector. So in CSS, in HTML, you know about attributes, correct? So now we have a ID attribute, we have a class attribute, correct? What is the use of those? Using ID and classes, we can basically give name to elements. So suppose we are working on a project like this, and we want to target this P. How can I target? Suppose if I target the P like this and give a background color of, suppose, aqua. Not a very good color, but yeah, it's so good. Okay, so this piece targeted, very good, but all the P's got targeted. I don't want that. I want to specifically target this P. Then how can I do that? How can I specifically target this P? Okay. Yeah, there. So what I can do, I can came here, give a class attribute of my P, like that. Now this item got a name of my P. So now using this my P, I can target this item. How? I can just for now remove this thing. I can say dot my P. Okay, dot and the name dot my P. And now if I give background uh aqua, now only this item get targeted. Okay, so if I open it, so see, only this guy get targeted, but those P's are not get targeted. So basically using ID and classes, we give name to elements, and by calling the name, or I can say by using the name, we target the specific element and put colors. And the same goes for the ID also. If I change this thing ID, so ID I give a my P. If I change the thing for ID, I just need to change the dot to a hashtag. That's it. Only actually there is two difference in classes and ID. Syntaxical differences: in classes we use dot, in ID we use hashtag. Done. That is all our classes and ID. So what is the point of classes and ID? We give name to element and we target the element using the name. Okay. So if we are using classes to target element, we use dot, and if we are using IDs to target the element, we use hashtag. Okay, fine. So I think now you guys also learn about the classes and ID selector. Now we are going to learn an interesting selector called chain selector. What is a chain selector? Chain selector is kind of selector. You can see there is a list item. The list item have two classes. So suppose if I want to target the list item, I can say I can target with this class, correct? So I can just copy. I can came here. I can say dot control V like that, and I can give background any color, brown, or this color chocolate is I guess good. So I can give a, I using the class, I target the item element, sorry, and I give a background chocolate. If I came here, you can see that element get targeted and get a background chocolate. Now the purpose of the chain selector is, if I want to specifically say I want to target a element that has a bg black and text white, meaning to say I am going to say if a element have these two of the class, then only I have to target the element. If the element like have only one of the, means if the element have only bg black, or if has only text white, then don't target it. The element should have to have these two classes, then only the element should get target. How can I say that? Like bg black, after that without doing any without putting any space, I put another dot and I put the second class name which was text white. So I can put here, I just see the syntax, dot first class name, then dot second class name. So basically I put a condition here, if a element have these two classes, then only target the element, otherwise don't target. So now if I came here, definitely you don't see any difference in the output, but now I just show you, you see one difference in the output. Suppose if I just try to target, suppose that guy, okay, I target this guy class and I give him only one class, which is bg black. I just give only one class. So just guess, will this item, will this element going to get targeted? And the answer is no, because this item 2 only have one class. And what I say in the selectors, I say the element should have to have these two classes, then only this element get targeted. So suppose that element have only one class and he is not get targeted. If I give that element all of the two classes, now just guess, will it get targeted? Yes, now it is get targeted. So I think now you get, I think now getting clear what is the chain selector. Chain selector means you are basically writing a condition, if a element have this many of the classes, then target the element. If a element don't have one of the classes, or some classes are missing, then don't target the element. Okay, fine. So I think you, I hope you understand that. And yeah, now we can go to the next selectors, which was combine select. Combine selector, believe me, that is super useful and helpful selector. Combine selector means when you want to target multiple elements in a one shot. Suppose I want to target all the pans, I want to target all the spans, and I want to target all the paragraph. Okay, so that I can do using combine selector. I can say I want to target span span, comma, I want to I also want to target all the p's, like that. Getting it? I'm going to target all the spans and all the p's. So I can give a background of which color I can give. I think this crimson. I hope so. It look good. Okay, fine. So now all the span, in our case there is only one span, and all the paragraph get targeted. So we can open our VS Code. So we can open our VS Code. So all the span. This is the span. This is the paragraph. So all the span and all the paragraph got targeted. Getting it? So I think now you understand, this thing is like very useful thing. This selector is very useful selector. Combine selector, basically combine, basically select multiple element in one go. Okay, by putting comma, just like na, in suppose if you have to say, if your mom going to say you na, go to market and bring milk, curd, and like banana, apple, like that. So how you're going to write that? You're going to write na, my mom told me to bring banana, comma, milk, comma, curd, like that. So that is the same thing only. We are going to target all the spans and all the p's. Fine. So that is combined selector. Now there is something called inside an element selector. What is the inside an element selector? Basically, it means suppose we have this div. Under the div, we have two children. The first children and the second children. Yes, you will consider as a child. This whole you will consider as a child. So under the div, we have first children, second children. Now under the second children, we have another two grandchildren. Correct. So inside an element means inside an element means under this I am to target all the LIs. Okay, under the div I am to target all the LIs. That is called inside an element selector. So I can just take, I can say under the div I want to target all the LIs like that. So that is the syntax. This thing you have to put. Now I can give some background red, and yep. So I can just open my code, and you can see only these guys get selected. Why? I told you. Uh, Only these guys get selected. Why? Because under the div, that is the list we are targeting, but this guy is not get targeted because that guy is a UL. What I'm basically saying, I'm saying under the div target all the LIs. So under the div, only this is the LI. If you think those are going to get targeted, no, that is going to target this one, and then he see that is a UL, and whenever he see that is UL na, that is not going to get under the UL and target the LIs. That is going to target only this LI, and he's going to skip this because that is a UL. Getting it? So so inside an element means inside the element you can target items, and target item means it's going to target the if you think under sub childrens you can target, no, it don't target the sub childrens, it target the first childrens only. If I put another li here, another li, so this li also get targeted because that is a child, which is li get targeted, that is a ul which is not get targeted, and that is another li which is going to get targeted. So if I just open the page, you can see another li also get targeted. Okay, fine. So that is inside an element, and that is inside an element, and yeah, that much. And honestly speaking, that selector also became useful in some times. Now we have another selector called direct child. Direct child means, let's try that. Suppose we have this div, and under the div, sorry, that was div. Under, and now how the direct child was, it is a space, means div space, and then I can say under the div target all the LIs and give a background red, or I can say crimson, CRI crimson. I feel it's good. Fine. So just see the syntax, under a div target all the LIs and give a background red. So what is the output we're going to see? Under the div all the LIs got targeted. So now I think you get the different idea that what is the difference between this and this. This is going to select this is going to select like the first layer of child. Okay, but this direct child is this direct child going to select everyone. So if I using direct child, I'm saying under the div select all the child, then it go under the div, it select this item, then he see that is a li, and he go under the li and select the list. That getting it? So before that, it was not going under the li and selecting. In direct child, it going under the li and selecting all the items. Okay, don't get confused. I know that word 2 is little confusing, but I give you the code. You just practice, and 100% you get like clarity. What is the difference between those? Just be experiment. Okay, fine. And now the last thing we have civiling. Honestly speaking, I'm thinking I should show you that civiling or not, because that is like very rarely we use that civiling. But yeah, I can show it. No harm on that, right? So what is the civiling selector? Like suppose this civiling is there, correct? So I can say I can target the civiling using Control C. I can target the like this dot civiling. Now I can use this tilde icon and I can say P. So what this is going to do, this is going to target the civiling and then target the first P. So it basically targeting this one, is basically targeting test 3. Okay, so let's see, am I correct or not? Background, I can say CRIM, crimson, I think becoming my favorite color. And yeah, it was targeting three. There is another thing. After the three, it was targeting everybody. So that is correct. So that is sibling selector. I mean, sibling selector means you say which one you want to target. After that, target all the P's. So it target the sibling. After that, it target all the P's. Okay, fine. So I think now you guys get a knowledge about the selectors. So that many selector you have, and now you guys have a good grip in selector. Believe me, very few people have that much knowledge of selectors. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next section. Before learning all the CSS property, first we want to know, even if it possible, can you learn all the CSS properties? The clear answer is no, because there is so many of the CSS properties there. So now the question is, how can you learn? How can you use all of the CSS property? The answer is very simple. We never learn all the CSS property. We need an idea how can we use the properties. Meaning to say, suppose what I can do now. Suppose there I can just create a simple box, not like this. I just need a simple box, and the box is nothing. I can just target the box like that. I can give a width of not 50%. Okay. I can give a height of suppose 50, or I can give a height of 5 rem. I can give a width of 5 rem, and I can give a like background of, suppose I give a background of this color. Okay, so I just create a box basically, and I can just start my live server to see my box is there on the web page or not. So yeah, my box is there. Now the challenge is what I want. I want the box, this corner, be rounded. So definitely there will be a CSS property that help me to bring the like this sharp edges to rounded. Now the thing is we need to figure out a Google search keyword. What we need to search to figure out the property, that property make this border, that make the border sharp border rounded. Okay. So now think. So what I can do now? How to, or I can say CSS property. CSS property for rounded corners. I can hit enter, and there is so many options. I think I can go for okay. See, there is also, I get a hint. There is something called border radius property. So what I can do now, I can just try that. Came here, border radius property. What it does? That guy give border radius 30 pixels, and now there is so many options are there. Like acha, I can give like this. I can give like differently. Now I can give acha. Wow. Now I can give like different border. I can target a specific border, and I can give some specific radius. Wow. And like this, there is so many things. But now we just try this guy. Border radius 30 pixels. So just I can came here on my code. I can try your dear border radius. Suppose I give 10 pixels. So will it work? Yeah, that was what. So like that only you need to figure out the CSS property. There is so many CSS property you just need to figure out. Now the second best way to know all about this property, to build a project. Build a good project like YouTube clone or some clone a good application. There you already get to know about the most basic property. I can show you some of the mostly useful properties. Suppose I have a paragraph and hello world. So I can target the paragraph like that. So the first property, first what we need to do, we need to manipulate with the size of the text. So for that, we have a front, not front family, we have a front size property. Front size, if suppose if I want to give 30 pixel, so the front size will be become 30 pixel. If you can't notice the difference, I can just comment the front size. Came to here, see the text is small. Fine. And I can just write the CSS here only. So that is the first property we learn, front size. So now what is the second property we can say? We can learn front weight. Front weight means the depth of the thing, or I can say the fattiness of the text. Suppose if I give front weight 100, nothing is there. Suppose front weight 100, nothing is there. Basically, it depend upon the font family. If you the font family has support the font weight say 100, it will give you font weight 100. Basically the depth of the fatness of the text, you can see na, till the front weight 500 the front is normal, in the front end 600 the front became more deeper, or I can say more क्या बोलते हैं more mota in English, in Hindi actually. So like that. So that is the purpose of the front family. Sorry, front weight. Okay, fine. Now we have another property called front family. What front family does basically change the style of the text. You can see if I change the front family to emoji and fantasy, the front style will change. So that is the purpose of front family. And I think that is the only like basic front two, that is the mostly useful front properties you're going to use. Now background color, text color, you already know those two properties. Fine. And now using the method I just show you, using the method you can almost use every CSS property in the world. You just need to know how to google the property. That is the only skill you need to know to use all the CSS property, how to google and figure out the property. Oh, all right, fine. So now you guys are able to use every CSS property in your project. So now we are going to learn units. What is unit? Suppose you are like changing a font size, or you are giving some height and width. So they are going to pass units. Suppose font size that pixel. So for that we need units. So now in units we have 6 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So we have 6 units. So the first unit is pixel. So pixel is the most basic unit. Suppose if I target 1, and I can target 1 and I am to change the font size. Font size means I have to increase the font size. So I can say font size equal to, I can say suppose 50 pixel. So what happened for that? I can came here and you can see the child one grown so bigger. Okay, so that is the basic thing of pixel. Now what is pixel? So pixel are the smallest units in the digital display. So if you are watching this video on a display, obviously on a display means a desktop or a laptop. So if you go to very closer now, you can see something like this. You can see like this small lights. So this one small light is called 1 pixel. Two small lights is called 2 pixels. So whenever you give 10 pixel, basically you are saying like consume the 10 lights. Getting it? So that is pixel. Fine. So now we learn about the pixel. Now the second thing is what is EM. In simple word, EM basically means like 1 EM is equal to 16 pixel. Okay, how can you verify that? So I give the font size of 15 pixel now. Rather than that, I give one font size of 1 EM. Okay, what happened for that? I can came here and the 1 EM I think is not visible. I can give 2 EM. So 2 EM is 16 multiplied by 16. How much it was? 32. Correct? I hope so. So I can go to inspect element and I can make it a little bigger. Sorry. Fine. So there you have a computed option. Correct? In the computed option, if you scroll down, you can see the font size was 32 pixels. So 1 EM equal to 16 pixel because I give this child 2 EM. So 16 multiplied by 2, it was 32 pixel. And there is another thing, browser only understand pixel. They don't understand EM, REM, percentage something. That units are for developers to make our development good. Okay, and make the product good also. Fine. So now you understand 1 EM equal to 16 pixel. That is only EM. Now there is another twist. EM actually depend to the parent, meaning to say what I say now 1 EM equal to 16 pixels. So that is the default. But now what I can do now, I can change the default. I can change 1 EM 16 pixel to something else. So suppose if I target the parent and I give the font size of the parent 10 pixel. Now by doing that, what I just did now, I just modified the default condition. The default condition is 1 EM is equal to 16. Now I change it to 1 EM is equal to going to 10 pixel. Getting it? So under it, this is the parent. All of the child of the parent now going to have 1 EM equal to 10 pixel. Don't get confused. That is easy only. 1 EM is equal to 16. Correct? That is the default thing. We can change the default thing. We can change 1 EM is equal to some other pixel. So by targeting your parent, you can give a font size of 10 pixel. So what happened for that? You just modify the default thing. Now 1 em is equal to 10 pixel. As simple as that. Now if you came here and now you can see, because I give 2 em, now because the 1 em is equal to 10, so 2 em became 20 pixel. Okay, so that is em. Now what is rem? Rem is exactly like same. If I give rem, 1 rem equal to 16 pixel. Em and rem, there is only one difference that I'm going to say. So em and rem, 1 em and 1 rem is equal to 16 pixels. So if I came here, you can see again it become 32. Now what is the difference? The only difference is em depend to the parent and rem depend to the root. What is root? This guy here is called root. Okay, so the only difference is em depend to the parent and rem depend to the root. So if I give font size 10 pixel to the root, then the default value get modified. You can see it become 20. Okay, so em and rem, there is only one difference. Em depend to the parent, rem depend to the root. One em and rem equal to 16 pixel. Okay, fine. I think that is cool. Now we want to learn VH. VH full form is viewport height. Before understanding viewport height, first understand what is viewport. So this entirety of the thing is called viewport. Okay, the web page you're seeing, no? The web page from here to here, that is called a viewport. This entire screen is called a viewport. So suppose I target the parent dot parent parent and I give a background crimson. Okay, and if I came here, they get a background crimson. But what I want now, I want they should take a certain first what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove the default margin and padding. This thing you say na, this space, that is the default margin and padding. I don't want the default margin and padding, so I can just use the universal selector. I can say margin 0 and I can say padding also 0 pixel. Okay, margin 0 pixel, padding 0 pixel. Now all the default spacing should be gone. They are gone. Fine. Now what I want this thing to be touch here, to touch the floor. So I can say parent, I can give him a height. First I give him a height of 500 pixel to see what happens. I came here, give 500 pixel, see it take 500 pixel of the height, and now it is scrollable also. So I can give like 100 pixel of height. See, it was came here, that much only. Now what I want precisely it should touch here only. For that, what I can give now, I can say 100 viewport height. So it going to always take 100% of the screen. Now you can see that is not scrollable also. Okay, so that is viewport height, and the same for the viewport width. So I can give like I can say 50. Okay, I first need to say width of, I can say 50 viewport width. So for the same, now it going to take the half of the screen. Now you know what is the good part of viewport. See, it was exactly taking the half of the screen. If you smaller the screen, still it was taking the half of the screen. So that is the use of viewport. Now we have the last thing, which is percentage. Percentage is exactly like same like the viewport. Getting it? You want to give 50% of the screen, you can use percentage also. It's going to produce the same output. So I can, rather than 15 viewport, I can say 50%. So I'm saying take 50% of the screen. So it was the same. See, nothing is changed. Okay, so nothing is changed, but only one thing is there, that percentage don't work with the height. If I try to give 100% of the height, it was not going to work. See, that is the only difference. So percentage don't work with heights. Okay, then now there we learn about the pixel, em, rem, viewport height, viewport width, and percentage. So thank you guys for watching this video, and then we meet in the next section. So now we are going to learn what is CSS box model. So before understanding the box model, we need to understand one thing. Everything in HTML is treated as a box. So here you can see there is like nothing, just a heading. But we can see that is a heading. But how HTML is going to treat this thing? As a box. And you can see also, if I select the item, you can see that that is a box, that box has a width, and that box also has a height. So everything in HTML treated as a box, as simple as that. So now if you understand this thing, now what is box model? Basically box model is a tool that help us to understand our web application better. What that mean? Suppose there is a box. Okay, just not a box, I basically create a div. I can show you the code. I basically create a div. Okay, and I give some 50 by I create a basically 50 by 50, sorry, 150 pixel by 150 pixel box. So I give width of 150, height of 150, and I got this 150 by 150 box. If I inspect element this box, if I came here and if I see the box, I can make it a little bigger so that you can see. Yeah, now you can see, I can see the CSS code, but if I scroll, you can see I have this box, and this box clearly says me that that is a 150 by 150 box. Now there is also some padding, border, margin. What are they? Don't worry, I'm going to came on that. But basically now you understand what is CSS box model. This thing is called the box model. Basically this thing represent how a element take space. Okay. Okay, now how what element takes space, this box is going to, this box like show that. Now the thing is, in the box model actually collection of three things. Actually in box model we use three things: margin, padding, and border. What they are? Suppose if I go to the style, and here I can give some padding of suppose 10 pixel. So you can see now, if I give the 10 pixel of the padding, so the size increase of the box. Now if I give like margin of like 10 pixels, so right now the size didn't increase, so that is good. And now if I give border of suppose 20 pixel, solid black. Okay, it's fine, it automatically take the black. So now you can see, now the box is not at 150 pixel by 150 pixel box. Now the box size is increased. And if I came here, by coming here, I can see how much the box size increase. Now the box size is 150 plus 10 plus 20 plus 10, means it was 40. Now the box is 190 by 190 pixel box. Getting it? So basically this box model help us to understand our component better, how much it takes space. Now positions are used to move items little here and there. Basically meaning to say, suppose you have 10 items, you want to move an item little bit top from 10 pixel. So how can you do that? That time we use positions. And for beginner, I totally understand you even don't see the usefulness of positions, but they are super helpful. They are super like, that the power of, they become sometimes power to create cards. So first we have five positions property: relative, absolute, static, sticky, and fixed. Now static is the by default property, means whenever we create a element, that element by default have a display, sorry, have position static. Okay, so static is the default property. Fine, so let's start with the relative. So to show you what the position relative does, I just create here a position relative. And there is another thing, I just write some code. Okay, I just create these three boxes, nothing else. Fine, so if you just see, if you can see now, I just give a position relative, nothing happened, correct? But the magic begins when I give position relative. Now I have now I have access of some properties, which is called top, bottom, left, right. If I say top to rem, meaning to say from the top came out like 16 pixel, and from left came out like 5 rem. So what happened? Wow, that guy just came to 16 pixel, sorry, or 2 rem from the top, and there it just came 3 or 5. I just forgot how much I give. Yeah, 5 rem for left. So that is the use of positions. Using positions, you can move elements whenever you want. Top, bottom, left, right, you can move items. Fine. So that is position relative. Position relative means move from your place. Now there is another thing. There is something called position absolute. What is the position absolute? I just change the relative to absolute. Just see what happened. Now you can see now that guy that guy also take 2 rem from top and 5 rem from left, but only the difference is now that guy is not consuming his space. Now why that guy is not consuming his space? Because whenever I say position absolute, he go to his parent, he or she, we assume that is he, okay. That guy go to his parent, from his parent it take 20 pixel top and it take 3 rem, it take 2 rem top and it take 5 rem left. Getting it? So whenever I say position relative means move from your place. Whenever I say position absolute means go to sorry, go to your parent and move from there. So now who is the parent actually? That one is the parent. So whenever I say to position absolute, it go to the parent and from parent it take 2 rem from top, like that. Now there is another thing. Can if I move the parent, will the child will be moved? Let's try it. Nobody knows. Still I knows. I can say position relative and I can say top, not this kind of thing. Top top, suppose 10 rem. So what happened? Wow, the parent moves and from the parent the child also moves. So my point is proved. Okay, so whenever I say position absolute, that guy means whenever I say position absolute, the element goes to the parent and move from there. And if I say position relative, that that element move from his place. So if I say, if suppose I give a good example, suppose you're watching Netflix on your room and I say position relative top top 10 pixel. So what happened? From your place, you're going to move 10 pixel. Correct. And now if I say position absolute top 10 pixel, now what happened? Whenever I say position absolute, you look for your parent and you see your parent is on the kitchen. Okay. And you go to the kitchen and from kitchen you move 10 pixel. So whenever I say absolute, move from your parent, and whenever I say relative, move from yourself. Okay, fine. I think that is good. And now what we can do now? We can learn about other properties like static. Static, we know static is the default one. If I put static, static, nothing will happen because static is by default given. Every property, every element has a default static. Now the sticky. Sticky is a very fun one. I can do now, but to teach you sticky, I need more elements so that I can scroll. Yeah, I can scroll. Now I can show you the sticky. Sticky is super like mazedar thing. So I can say position sticky, and from top to here 2 rem, from left 5 rem. So now you can see it moved left to 5 rem, but it didn't move from the top. Why? Because if I just scroll now, see, that's why. Sticky means it going to have a, or I can give a left of, I can just remove that left. So you can see it behave like a just like a normal element, but it can't go beyond the screen. Whenever it's going to go be like whenever it's going to cross the screen, it's going to stuck. So that is sticky. Means sticky means that guy can't move from the screen. That guy can like behave normally in the screen, but it can't go out of the screen. It's going to stay in the screen only. So that is position sticky. Okay. And now the last one is the most easy one, which is called fixed. Fixed. Fixed means it going to fixed in his place. So if I just refresh, it going to fixed in his place. Correct. He is not moving. Now I can say you can go for bottom, bottom suppose 2 rem, and you can go for right 2 rem. So what going to happen? It going to came at side of the screen. See, it came here. Now, oh my god, I'm like I can change it. I can make the right to left, or I can make the bottom. I think that is good. I can make the bottom to top. It should work. Left plus left. So yeah, and I can make the left to right only. Right to right, like that. Like, see, it going to stay here only. Doesn't matter what I do here and there. It going to stay here. So now you can see, you can have a rough idea while creating dashboards. That time it may useful. And also you see na, in this place, the place you can see me, this place, my my camera is there. That place normally you have a WhatsApp button. If you click, a pop-up open, if you click a chatbot open. Now how they put the chatbot that place using this display flicks. So that is for display, and see you in the next session. Hover and focus, they are also useful in a web application, and believe me, hover is very useful in a web application. Hover means, so first learn hover. So what I can do now, I just target my h1 like that. Now hover means, I can just cut that much. Hover means whenever I hover on the heading, I should see something. Then how can we write the code? It was like hover colon like this, and I can say like array hover, hover like that, and curly braces. Now I'm basically saying whenever someone hover on the h1, put some properties like that. Just remember the syntax. That syntax you are going to use so many time on your code. The element you are targeting, colon, and then hover. Right. Now I'm saying whenever someone hover on the h1, do something. What to do? Just take the background. Suppose aqua, not aqua. Just take the background violet, and change the color to white, and also change the font family, front, sorry, change the font size to I think 2 rem. Fine. So now I can just start my live server to see actually what happened. Now you can see whenever I hover, they all the CSS property apply. Right now, if I don't hover, nothing is there. If I hover, then all the CSS property apply. So that is the purpose of hover. Hover basically, like, if you want to, whenever someone hover, you can execute some CSS property. That's it. So fine, we know, we learn hover. And now focus. Focus is like, first only what is focus. Suppose there's the input field now. If I hit on the input field, that is called focusing. Whenever I hit, that means I'm focusing on the input field. Okay. Right now I'm not focusing. Now I'm focusing on the input. Getting it? So that is called focus. How can you use that? The syntax is exactly same. I can say input slash, it's not slash, sorry, colon focu focus and curly braces. Now I can give a background color on focus. I need to make the background color of brown. So now whenever I focus, you can see the background color now becoming brown. So that is focus. Now you can relate. Now whenever you focus on input field, some animation kind of thing happen, they use focus there. So what is Flexbox? Flexbox is nothing. Flexbox is just a tool that help us to move elements x-axis and y-axis. What that mean? Suppose there I have some elements, right? I have three boxes, 1 to 3. Now if I want to change the boxes like this to this, meaning to say right now the boxes in a y-axis, I want to change the boxes to a x-axis. How can I do that? So that time Flexbox came in the picture. So to use Flexbox, and there is another thing, in Flexbox we always play with the parent. Flexbox, the scene is very simple. We target the parent and told the child's, means it is like, suppose if you play and you broke someone's window. So what happened? That person go to your parent and then told your parent that please told your kid to not play there. He is breaking, or he or she is breaking out window. Like that, if I want to move these three elements, I need to talk with the parent. Okay, so whenever we use Flexbox, we always target the parent. So now just target the parent, 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 like that. I have a spell, the spelling is correct. Yeah. Now in the parent, how can I use Flexbox? I need to say display flex. That's it. I need to say display flex, meaning to say Flexbox is applied in this element. Okay. If I came there, you can see nothing is there, correct? I can just refresh and acha. I need to start my server also. My server is turned off. Yeah. See? Now they are in a row. Why it was? Because okay, slowly, if I use display flex now I have access of some properties. I use display flex, now I can use some additional property. Now we are going to learn another flex property called flex direction. This flex direction property have mostly four values: column, column reverse, row and row reverse. So by default, if I put flex direction column, what happened? See, it came to a column format. If I make this flex direction row, what happened? It came to a row format. So I think now you get it. Basically, this flex direction manage the direction of the items. Okay. And now whenever you use display flex, by default the flex direction is row. That's why whenever you put display flex, it came like this. So the default flex direction is row. Fine. Now we also want to know about what is row reverse. If I do row reverse, you can see here it came here. So that is row reverse. And now we can say column reverse. Just told me what happened. You guess wrong. Yeah, exactly. You guess na, like this thing will be came here. No, you guess wrong. This thing just opposite their position. Rather than 1 to 3, it become 2. Sorry, 1. It became 3 to 1, like that. So that is the flex direction property. I can just make the flex direction property the default one, which was row. Okay. Now we have other properties. Now the thing is, suppose we want to, like, we have our items, right? Now we want to move our items from x axis, right? From left to right. From left to right, we want to move our elements. So for that, I can just came here. I can even open the inspect element. I can target the parent. I hope you can see that thing. I can make more bigger. Yeah. And yeah, like that. So I just target the parent, and you can see that there is our parent. I can make more bigger. Now I hope so it look good. Means at least it क्या बोलते हैं see well. Now if I put justify content is used to move the element left to right. Now justify content has a property called center. If I use center, you can see it came center of the page, and this is responsive. If I shrink the screen size, it will always in the center. Okay. Now, so what we learned first, the property we have it was center. Second, we have justify content have something called uh space. That justify content has this very important or very useful three values: space around, space between, space evenly. Now what that means, start with the space and start with the space between. So what space between does, it take all the space in between, so that's why it called space between. What is the space around does, you can see, you can just assume from here to here there is 10 pixels. From here to here there is also 10 pixel. Again from here to here there is also 10 pixel, meaning to say it take 10 pixel, 20 pixel, 20 pixel, and 10 pixel. Getting it? So that is the purpose of space around. And don't get confused, you can see now there is less space, there is more space. Why it was like that? If you assume in between this space is a 10 pixel of the space, so that guy has 10 pixel here, so that guy also have 10 pixel here, correct? And this guy also have 10 pixel here, so their total the space there is 20 pixel. Okay. And now the space evenly. Space evenly is very simple. It like it take calculate the space and give everyone the equal space. If there is 15 pixel, there is also 15 pixel, also 15 pixel, also 15 pixel. Depending on the project or the problem, you need to use those items. So yeah. So I can right now take this space around, or I can say space evenly I can take. Right. Now the thing is there is also the justify content also we have a flex end, so it came end of the page. And also we have flex start, so it came starting of the page. That thing you can note down, because what is how, okay, fine. How many properties we learn? Center, justify space between, justify space arrow, justify space evenly, and flex start and flex end. So those are the only properties you are going to use with the justify content. Okay. And I told you it came with practice. If you don't practice, 100% you are going to forget about the properties. And the more you practice, the more you remember the properties. You can't memorize the properties. So right now you can take a note of that. You can have a notebook and you can say the justify content properties, this like that. Later when you build application, then with the time while building the application, it goes to your mind automatically. Okay. So now we are done with the justify. Now what about if I want to move the item from top to bottom, meaning to say in the y axis. So for that we have a align items. So we have a align item center also like the justify content. Now you may say why the align item center is not working, because the parent, where is the parent? Yeah, the parent don't have, the parent have space in the left and right, but this parent don't have space in the top and bottom. Okay, so what I can do, I can give a parent to a height of 100 vh. Now you can see that time I give it a height of 100 vh, now it came center. And like that, if you think that the item align item center also have a space between like that, so unfortunately it didn't, it don't have that space between like that. Align item center only have three properties: center, uh flex end, and flex start. So align item center only have three properties. Justify content have six properties. So yeah, so I hope you understand that much is the flex box. This four properties, na, most of the time you're going to play with these four properties also only. Media queries, we need to make a website responsive. And now what I mean by responsive means, I think you notice that, you definitely notice that if you open a website on your desktop, it work totally fine. And now when you open the same website on your tablet or mobile, it fit on that screen. Correct? Suppose we have Flipkart. If you open the Flipkart on your browser, on your mobile browser, you type flipkart.com and you open the Flipkart, it perfectly fit. Correct? The text automatically shrink, the images automatically get shrink. So how this thing happened? That thing happened for media query. Media query is a way there you are going to say if the screen size is this, then you can apply this CSS, and if the screen size is this, then apply this CSS. Or, and if I want to make more simple, like if the website is loaded on a desktop, apply this CSS, and if the website is loaded on a mobile, apply this CSS, like that. Fine. So how can you say that? Basically, we have a body, correct? So what I can do now, I can say body, and I can give a background color of blue. I think. Okay, I think my website is already there. Okay, I can cut this thing. Yeah. So if I say body background blue, so that is so obvious that the background going to get blue. Now what I want, if my screen is a desktop screen, then I want to make the background blue. But if I am working on a mobile device, then I want to make my background yellow. Okay, how can I do that? So for that, first I need to have clarity. What is the screen size of a mobile? So I can say, suppose if I have clarity, if the mobile device is, and I can show you something. I can came here and I can, in the browser you have this icon. Okay, this button. Just click this button and it opens something like this. And now here you can see now, you can just play with the screen size. So now I can say if the screen size is smaller than 500 pixel, means if the screen size is the 5-inch screen size, then it was going to be a mobile device. In mobile device, I need to apply different CSS. How can I say that? I can say media, and after that I'm going to say like min width, width width, and I can say 500 pixel. Now there is a little catch. If you see some other YouTubers video, old one, obviously new one, everybody I think fixed it. So they use max width. Okay. Now in older days we use max width, but in newer days we have something called mobile first approach. In this mobile first approach, we use not mix width, it was mean width. In mobile first approach, we use mean width. Now, what this mean width 500 pixel means? Mean width 500 pixel means when the screen is bigger than 500 pixel, then do something. When the screen is bigger than 500 pixel, then do something. And whatever the modern framework you see now, like Bootstrap, Tailwind, they everyone use this mean width only. Fine. So what I'm saying, if the mobile size is more than if the screen size is more than 500 pixel, do something. What do? Target the body and give a background uh brown, I guess, violet. I think blue violet is good. I think. Fine. So see, if the screen size is less than 500 pixel, it was blue. If the screen size increase, then it became violet. So like that you can like apply different kind of CSS. So basically what I'm saying, this CSS is going to apply to everybody, and this CSS only going to apply when the screen is bigger than 500 pixels. And I can put like more media queries. I can say another media screens, and I can say if the screen is max WID, if the screen size is more than 900 pixel, then again you can do one thing. I can change the background. I can first target the body, and I can change the background color to which color? I think that one, dark orange. And yeah, if I cross it, see, if my screen size is smaller than 500, it was blue. If my screen size is on a tablet bigger than 500, it was like violet. And if my screen size is like bigger than a tablet, means the desktop, then it was like this dark orange. So like that. And you just not only change the background color, you can put any CSS you want. Like that, you have a text, you can say in every one, text should be 10 pixel, and whenever the screen size became tablet, the text can go to 12 pixel, and whenever the screen size became a desktop, then the text can go 20 pixel. So like that you can make your web page responsive. Okay, fine. I think if you follow that much, you ready to start learning JavaScript. Okay, CSS is that much. Now I told you one thing. I try to cover the CSS very fast, but CSS is a vast ocean. So how can you know all the stuff from the ocean? Very simple. You just Google it. You have to Google it, and done. You just need to know how to Google, and that's it. That is the only skill you need to like use everything from the CSS ocean. So I hope you learn CSS from this crash course, and we see you on the next video.